Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Spears Studio. I'm your host and founder of the Spears Studio, Jennifer Spears. And today we have a special guest. But before we get to that, I do want to say it's been too long since I've talked to you all, been on the scene, and it does feel good to be back. Like
Mhm.
it's been like over a year since I've done an interview. So this is like huge right now. And I'm really excited. And especially to have this special lady stepping into the Spear studio. So stepping into the studio today, we have creative director, photographer, and the founder behind a brand built on the belief that every kid deserves to feel like they were the blueprint. So
Mhm.
let's give it up to Evemita.
Hi, thank you so much, Jennifer, for having me here. It's truly an honor to be here talking to you.
Yes, I'm so happy that you're here and I'm so happy that you accepted. So let's just jump right into it because
Okay.
this is the start of the Spear Studio
Yes.
Notes. So it's not like our first issue, it's our second addition to the Spear Studio family. So we're gonna be following you with your entire project. And I'm so happy to talk to you over these next months. And this is gonna be something new, something different for my listeners as well. But we're excited to see you grow. And let's just jump right into it. So
Okay.
let's talk. What is Cool Kid Frames? Tell me a little bit more about you. Let's just dive right into it.
Okay, well, first and foremost, my name is Evmita, and I am a photographer, creative director, digital media strategies. Not do I dabble in a lot of things, but in terms of Cool Kids Frames, I founded Cool Kids Frames when I was an undergrad at the University of Florida, but it wasn't always Cool Kids Frames. It was actually 3.A6400, the three coming from my name, and then 6400 was the because I used a Sony A6400, and that's where that came from. But when I was doing that, it was literally we didn't have any studios. It was in Gainesville, Florida. There was no studios. It's like post-COVID or
Mhm.
during COVID. And so I literally had to take my dorm apartment and turn it into a homemade studio. And that's where I just started, my friends and I, we just started doing birthday shoots for each other. And then once everybody saw that we was doing birthday shoots, they started like hitting me up like, hey, can you do my birthday shoots? Can you do my birthday shoots? So then I just kept on doing birthday shoots, but over time, I just felt like I was doing the same thing over and over again. I felt out of love with photography for a while until my senior year for my capstone project. That's when I rebranded into Cool Kids Frames because I wanted to create with intention and also merged my love with photography and fashion together. So that's where Cool Kids Frames came from because I love being called cool. That's like my favorite compliment ever. And I was like, why not do Cool Kids Frames, you know? And now we have Cool Kids Frames and it's like where every kid is cool. And I think that's like the most coolest thing ever.
I like that. I like that a lot. And I didn't even know that about the origin story. So that's pretty cool. I want to go back to something you said about you fell out of love like with photography. I want to touch base on that because I think a lot of people that I talk to, creatives, we all have a point where we fell out of like our love of doing something. So whether it be photography, writing, whatever. What was that moment that really like forced you to come back or like it what was like a clicking moment that you were like, let me get back to it. Like I feel better when I'm creating. I feel like, I want to get back into it.
Yeah, so for the most part, I didn't completely stop doing photography. I actually was a part of a student ran agency, the agency at the University of Florida, and I was working with one of our clients, which is a luxury housing company called the Bartram, and I would just do like lifestyle photos there. But like I said, I wanted to have more intention with my work. Like I am such a control freak. So how people view my art was just like something that really meant a lot to me. And because I wasn't satisfied with what I was creating because it was like the same thing over and over again, things that I would see, I wanted to create something that like allowed people to view my world or see the world from my perspective in a way
Mhm.
that really blends in Black culture in terms of fashion in an editorial way.
Yeah. And then I noticed that even like with throughout your brand, looking at like your origin story when you first introduced your rebrand, like it came from a place of like healing in a way. Like seeing yourself not just like you said, not cool, like being like a aesthetic. And I really liked how you pointed that out because I feel like in a world like in digital media these days, everything is to be labeled as an aesthetic. And like if this isn't cool, if it doesn't follow like this modern day, like, style that everyone uses. How do you think, like, how do you want to stand out from like what we already see every single day? Like, how do you take that word cool and make it like yours?
I think one of the main things is honestly living in my truth in a way that's like not everybody's gonna like what I produce. Not everybody's gonna understand the concept that I
Right.
push out, right? But I think it will always come back to me and how I always feel about my work and how want to impact others with my work. So
Mhm.
I feel like there's not necessarily book definition of what being cool is. I believe that being yourself or being like have an authentic way of approaching certain ideas that I turn into concept that people will see
Yeah,
is like where like my the strongest part of my foundation is for my brand.
like that a lot. Okay. Now, how would you describe Cool Kids frames actually? So, like somebody who's never seen and never heard of it, just like how you're explaining to me, like our first time listeners. It could be in short. It don't
You
have to.
know that saying to be seen is to be loved?
Mhm.
I think that's how I describe Cool Kids Frame. I believe like there's one of the main gaps I want to fill within the industry is the misrepresentation of how Black people mostly are being viewed within the media and also within the fashion industry as well. So to be seen as who you are and not just being used as like a
Yeah.
prop or performative reasons, I think that's like one of the main reasons. So yeah, to be seen is to be is to be loved.
Beautiful. Oh my god. I like that. I really do like that. Okay. So, let's talk this project that we're going to be following you with. So, right now you're in the middle. Well, we're at the beginning stages basically of you building this. I don't want to tell too much because I know that I know a little bit about it, but walk us through what we will be following you like what journey will we be you will be taking us on like let's talk all things capstone project and for those who don't know Mita and I are in the Annenberg School of the University of Southern California. Annenberg, this is School of Communication. We are currently getting our master's in digital media management. This is how I met my girl. And we have to complete these capstone projects as a part of our, like, big final, like, if you're going to get your master's or not, basically. If you mastered it or not. Were you paying attention? Were you taking notes throughout these years? Well, 2 years. Well, 1 year for you. So exactly. Let's talk about it. Amita has been so gracious enough to let us into this like her secret world because this is very near and dear to like a creative's heart. So thank you once again. But let's talk all about it.
Not gonna lie, this is nerve wracking because it's the first time like I'm actually being like my process is or my thought process is actually being viewed like this or documented like this because I changed my mind a lot of times like this. The idea for this capstone project has been changed so many times, But ultimately, what I am building is a social media campaign called It's Us, and it's an editorial fashion campaign that is rooted in the storytelling of Black love. So I want to collaborate with Black owned brands and creatives to help bring this story to life. At first, I want to do 3 chapters, but with our capstone and with the timeline, brought it down to 2.
Mhm.
But ultimately, my goal is to or create something that feels both like culturally meaningful, but also
Like that. Where did this, like, idea even, like, stem from? Because I know you said that you went through a lot of ideas on, like, what you should do, how you wanted to do it, but, like, was there a specific moment where you were like, "Aha," like, that connecting piece, like, "This is gonna work out?"
well, it stemmed from because like my work, like my concept that I've done through Cool Kids Frames has always been to really represent the misrepresented. But I wanted to, for this specific capstone, I wanted to really specify on something that performative in the sense of like it's always down to your skin color or it's a struggle love. Like I'm tired of seeing the struggle
Yeah,
love
I
or
hear
this like
that.
having to go through pain in order to experience something that something real. And my problem was the fact that like where's the softness of black love? Where's the butterflies that you get when you have a crush? Was the yearning, but we hear it in music, and but when it comes to seeing it, and especially when it comes to like in the editorial world, it's if it's there, it's
Yeah,
not being represented correctly.
never.
And if it's there, it's in a way that makes us like, I don't know, I just feel like like you're suffocating, like, oh my gosh, like why is it always so intense? Like where's the lightheartedness of loving or being in love?
Mhm. Did you pull, like, direct inspiration from, like, music or movies? What's some of, like, your inspirations like that?
Like the
But
best
you know what they said Love Jones a little toxic. Now I will
Love
say
Jones
that.
is
That's a
toxic.
so
Think about how the yearning part of Love Jones.
yeah, yeah.
Think about, yeah. Think about in R&B, the old R&B when they used to rain outside and and
It had a
the guy
boombox.
used to sing, yeah, they have a boom
Yes,
to yearning. What
yes.
happened
Okay,
to
I get
butterflies when you have a crush? What happened to Woman Crush Wednesdays?
man, man.
Man, let's talk about
We
it.
used to
Like,
post our crushes, man crush Monday, woman crush. Listen, it used to be serious, and you wouldn't care. That could have been your crush just for that week. Feel you. No, I like that. And I really do agree with you. Like, we don't see Black love represented in the same way that we see other like cultures, like or like everybody else, other races, like portrayed even in movies. Like, why? It's not even a lot of like rom coms with Black people as the leads. Like, why can't we have that soft and like dainty, cute, the meet cutes and all of that? We deserve to see like be seen in that light too, not always in like a dark or negative sense or being portrayed as like maybe like the friend of the lead that's fallen in love or like we deserve more than that. So I really like your capstone. I love your capstone project and I think that is something that's needed. And I know with like your photography skills and like your creative directing skills, like it's gonna be like I can't wait to see what it even looks like. I can't even imagine it because every time I think that like you're gonna do something cool, you exceed that. It'd be something way. I'm like, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, so we talked inspo. So at this stage, where are we today? It is July 6th. Let's talk timeline. Like, where are we in your process right now?
See if I could even pull it up real quick. Because, okay, boom, here's the timeline. So, boom, right now, we're in the pre production phase. And if you don't know what pre production is like you're gathering all your materials, make sure you have all the models, make sure you have all the whoever you want to collaborate, building up the team, building up the foundation so that when it comes time to shoot, you're ready and you're prepared. So right now we're in the pre-production phase. We're still finalizing models, we're still finalizing artists, like makeup artists and stylists to work with. We're still finalizing brands, specific brands that we're working at we're working with. So right now we're in the outreach. We're also reaching out to organizations to see if they're able to provide us with resources and mentorship as well, and I think that's like one of the biggest things for me. I think like I recognize my weaknesses, and
Yeah.
I believe one of my weaknesses is the network, or it is like having access to certain things. So that's why I am reaching out to these specific type of organizations. But so once we have that, the I believe pre-production ends towards the end of July, and then as soon as August hit, we will be shooting. We would have 1 week will be one, because right now we have 2 chapters, right? So
Mhm,
1 week will be shooting the first chapter, the second week will be shooting the week after that will be shooting another chapter.
mhm.
And then afterwards, that's when the post-production, it comes with the editing and breaking down like
What do you think is like been the hardest part so far in the pre-production phase? So right now, like building out this like outline.
you're I don't know, cold like I've been cold emailing so many people or just hitting up so many people. And Jennifer, you know how I felt about that, bro.
I
If y'all
know,
don't know,
I
I'm
do.
Haitian. And I felt like that was like I don't even know this word in English, but that was so soon of me to really um like just send out an email and then just to see if someone is or an organization is even willing to have a conversation with me and sit
Yeah,
down to even talk about my capstone. And that's like the most nerve-wracking thing because this is like, oh my gosh, like I'm putting myself out there, but then it's like, yes, put yourself out there. You never know
yeah,
what might happen. You never know who you may
right.
get contact with or like what could happen. And yes, it's nerve-wracking and it's scary. And I'm still scared because this is like, I don't know, but the uncertainty is also what makes it exciting because this could go anywhere,
Mhm.
honestly.
Do you think that networking is like your hardest part of your process, even like outside of your capstone? So with your other projects, like is that something like you struggle with?
Yeah, definitely. I believe also since we live in such a digital world, I feel like a lot of times before someone even like want to work with you or agree to work with you, the first thing they will look
Yeah,
at is like your numbers or who you
yeah,
know or this, that, and the
always.
third. And it's like, do you believe in the vision or you don't? And it's like, but if they don't believe in the vision, I guess it wasn't meant to be, and that's completely
Yep.
fine with me.
Yep. I definitely agree with that. And I think that's probably one of the other reasons like why I even started my platform is because why does somebody have to wait to have their story be told until they're like famous or they have a million followers or they blew up on TikTok overnight? Like everybody's story deserves to be heard one way or the other. Like it don't matter if it's going to get 5 likes, 20, 2,000, like it just doesn't matter. Like who are you to say my vision isn't good as somebody else's that has like 500K followers? Like, I think that talking to everybody gives you like a good, well rounded perspective, especially in the creative world, because you never know who you could like learn from, especially like you said with the whole networking thing in person. Like, that's important too, because you never know what I can learn from you and what you can learn from me just because, like, we can help each other. Like, it's a collaboration. It should be an ongoing collaboration, and people need to understand that. I agree though with you. I think networking is a very hard thing to do all the way around. I don't care if it's an email, like you just don't know if they're gonna respond in person. You don't know if they're gonna tell you no. Like you just never know.
The
So I
worst
do
thing they
agree.
could say is no. Then you just
Exactly.
life continues, honestly. That's why I had to keep telling myself the worst they could say is no. And you're
Exactly.
in the same boat that you was in before.
Thank you. Beautifully said. What's something like that's exciting you like right now in this like the draft process? Like what's been exciting? What's something like that just happened that's super exciting you want to talk about? Mhm. It don't have to be nothing grand. Like what's something like that's like been like, oh, like I'm on the right track.
Said before the networking thing, like having discussions with people and them being like on board about
Yeah.
the project or them willing to like help work with the project as well. I think that's
Mhm.
another thing as well. It's like, oh my gosh, like you like I know I believe in the vision, but like you believe in the vision too? Like
That is
okay.
true. That's a good feeling to have when somebody like, dang, that's good. You be like, really? Because of course I thought it was good.
And
You
then
think
but
it's
I
good.
was really the next thing I'm really about to say is literally this conversation I'm having with you right now. The
Mhm.
platform to be documented in a way that my projects has never been documented before.
Yeah. Like I said, it takes somebody real, like real and raw to like really open up with their like creative process. Cause it's so like, I don't know about everybody else, but I know I'm sensitive about my work. So I know creatives always are very sensitive about their work. So somebody coming in prying, it was like, what if I mess up? But I think that's the beauty of it. And that's what I can't wait for everyone to see like this whole new like series because everything that happens, even if it's the ugly, like throughout a project to like timeline, you gonna see the good, the bad, the ugly, the oh, I thought this was gonna work, it didn't work. I might go through sometimes and within this new series, I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work, like this certain thing that I'm doing. But I think that's the journey and that's the beautiful like the beautiful part about it is because you might go look back on this and be like, dang, like, oh, that wasn't a big deal. Or like this did end up working out. Or like look at me like I'm just growing and like seeing myself through a whole nother lens and like learning from myself too. So I think this is going to be very fun. Like I can't wait. Even like this conversation, like you said, was very like solidifying, even on my part too, as well as yours. So I just can't keep wait, like can't wait to keep talking to you about it. So we talked about everything. I want to leave us with one last question.
Okay.
Actually, I have two questions. Is there anything that you're trying to prove yourself, like to yourself with this project? Like, have you ever tried like at with your other projects, like like what are you trying to prove with this project specifically, if anything? Mhm.
Self-sabotage a lot, and I feel like when people see my work, they think, "Oh, okay," like, see the things that happen behind the scenes or whatever case may
Yeah.
be, or
Yeah.
just like I try to sell myself short.
Mhm.
And I believe because this is not only for Cool Kids Frames, but this is also for my creative direction. It's gonna be like flagship, like sorry, I don't know if you heard that. Did you hear that?
Okay, yeah.
This is gonna be like this is gonna be like the launch for my creative direction brand directed by a cool kid. And it's like I often sell myself short about my skill sets and what I do. And I know there's been like a lot of discussions about what is a creative director and what it do, and then like people there's been discussions about people labeling themselves as creative directors and photographers and what is a true
Yeah.
creative director and this that and the
Yeah.
third. There's been so many discussions. And oftentimes, like, especially as a creative, it's so hard to not compare yourself to your counterparts. It's so hard not to be like,
It
dang, if
is.
I would have stuck with this, I would have been here by now. Like, I'm thinking about, dang, what if I would have stuck with my photography
Yeah.
when I was an undergrad and I didn't take that break and I just continued to do those pictures, where would I be now? But then Cool Kids Frames wouldn't be here. I think I need to prove myself that I have the discipline and I have what it takes to create a campaign that is worthy of not just published, but worthy of being in the same discussions that
Mhm.
these companies in these industries, the campaigns that they have.
Yeah.
And I feel like I the story that I'm telling, it needs to be told. And oftentimes I have to think like, am I the right person to tell this type of story?
Yeah.
And it's like, I think I need to prove myself that I am the right person.
Yes, you are. Why wouldn't you be? You had the idea, like, it's yours, and you
You
gonna own it.
sometimes you get in your head. I feel like my biggest enemy is myself. Like
Yeah.
the biggest person that I have to is Eve versus Eve. Like,
Yeah.
so sometimes when you get in your head, it's like, dang, like, I don't know. It makes you think, but sometimes you don't need to think. I try to perfect a lot of things, and some things don't need to be perfected in the way that I see it.
No, because it's like, it's beautiful the way you put it together the first time, like, we all at the end of the day, we always gonna be, like, our toughest critics. Even, like, I could stare at, like, what I'm gonna post next for, like, hours and still don't think it's good enough. And I could ask, like, a close friend, be like, "Hey, what you think about this?" They'd be like, that's dope." And I'm like, "Is it though?" Like, I've been sitting here for hours, like, it's not good enough to me though. But we gotta get out of our own way. We gotta get of our like, our own head and our own way. And my sister just told me today, like, I was doing the same thing, like, You think this good?" She like, "Post it today and keep moving." Like, remember what Professor, who's our first professor? Itaya. He told us, like, don't just, like, stop thinking and just do. So just post, just create, just keep doing it. Like, stop waiting for, like, that green light from yourself because you're never gonna get it. Like, it's rare that you're gonna get it. Yeah.
To I want to address it correctly. I want to be very intentional behind it. And I
Yeah.
think that's where like the a lot of the self-doubting comes in. Is just like, well, what do you know about love? Like,
Right.
why do you think you're the best person to tell this story? But it's just like being vulnerable itself is a form of love, like that, especially a love that you have for not only my art but my community that I want to represent as well.
Yeah. That hit. Oh, look at you spit. Dang. And I mean, anybody can be the right person to show love because at the end of the day, everybody's been loved by somebody, like your family, a friend, like you self-love, being vulnerable. Like, I feel like people don't really realize how much love shows up in our everyday life. And it does love isn't always just about the, "Oh, I'm talking to this guy," or, like, "I'm talking to a girl, I'm talking to whoever," like, love isn't just, like, relation or, like, what is it called? It could be platonic, it could be all these other things. Exactly, like, and it's sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's not, even with ourselves, so with self-love, so, I don't know, I love this project. I can't wait to see it. I love this project. I think it's really dope. I don't think it's a better person to do it. So that's why
It
I'm like, you're
yeah.
gonna kill it. So
I feel like every time I speak with you, you always speaking life into me. Like, I love the Spear Studio. I love it.
we love it here. We love it here. No, I love you though. And I really like thank you for even like taking the time. I keep saying it, but like I really do appreciate you. Okay, so we've come to our last question. If someone is watching this whole journey, so from the sketch all the way to the masterpiece, what would you want them to like take away from seeing this process? I'm gonna ask you this at the end again, to see if your answer changes. But right now, how do you feel? Yeah. What would you want somebody to take away from watching you?
I think one of the main purposes why I even wanted to do a project like this is because I just moved. I moved to Atlanta. Um
Atlanta.
so so but I'm very strong of on community, right?
Hmm.
And I remember when be saying people's name wrong.
Okay.
But Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler.
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. When they were winning awards for Sinners, but just like their history that they have with each other and how like they stuck with each other for since their very first film.
Yeah.
And it's like they stayed and within their community to build something amazing, right? And then
Mhm.
even even when they didn't receive if they didn't receive any awards for their previous works, right? But the awards that they're winning right now because they believed in their community is what really um is one of the biggest foundations or what for is one of the biggest purposes for this project, because I believe that working with your community and working with the creatives around me instead of like looking at bigger brands that already has a lot of fall
Yeah.
industry, is like there's talent next door. There's people I know who can make amazing. I'm friends with one of the most talented individuals ever. And I'm just like sitting here, I'm like, I really wish the world could really see how I see you.
Right.
So one of the biggest takeaway that I want people to take away from this project is you could create amazing things within your community.
Yeah. You can. You don't got to go outside to do it. See, we doing it right now. It's all in the
Exactly.
community. Keep it in the
All in the
family.
community. Keep it in the family.
Keep it in the family. Keep it in the family. Well, our time here has come to an end. I feel like it went by too fast. But we will be checking in with you again next month. So and you'll be dead in the middle. Like you just said earlier, you'll be in the middle of shoots. It'll the ground is gonna hit the ground running. Don't
Yeah.
you gonna be good. You gonna be good.
I don't
Everything.
know how to look in a month from now, but pray for me, please. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I know that even probably like everybody listening and everybody watching, everybody's rooting for you. So we all rooting for you. We can't wait. We're gonna meet you back here for the making to see what you've been up to in August. And yeah, it's gonna be tea. So don't stress. We got your back. We got your back.
I'm stressed, but I hope to create the most amazing things for you guys. Don't
Yes.
worry.
Don't worry. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again. And if you haven't, please go follow this amazing, creative, beautiful, hilarious person in the entire universe, the cool kid herself, Evemita.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
Go follow
you.
her. I'm going to put her links below. Evemita, thank you for joining us once again and stepping into the studio. Can't wait till you step in again and we have our middle conversation, our little midpoint conversation. So, yeah, I can't wait to see all the things you do. You got this.
Thank you so much.